Thank you.
The chair recognizes Senator Ricketts.
Thank you very much. And thank you to the commissioners for coming here today for this oversight hearing. I really appreciate it. Nebraska is very proud of our nuclear power. It's clean, safe, and reliable. Our Cooper Nuclear Station is an 835 megawatt facility that can generate power for about 385,000 residences, even in the hottest part of summer. Nebraska is working to expand its nuclear energy capabilities through several different avenues. As the industry continues to grow throughout Nebraska and the country, clarity in rulemaking is vital to success. In situ recovery, uranium mining is critical to the U.S. bolstering our domestic supply of uranium. One of the challenges to incentivizing more ISR mining in the U.S. is the lack of clarity with respect to the NRC groundwater restoration standards. President Trump recently issued an executive order directing reform at the NRC. Chairman Wright, how will the NRC work to address the lack of clarity regarding groundwater standards as part of its new reforms?
Thank you, Senator. And I love your state, by the way. I love
Thank
Nebraska.
you. So do I.
So the NRC is working right now on ISR standards as part of this whole comprehensive rulemaking on 14,300 right now. So that's gonna happen. The review.
So do you have a timeline for when we might be able to expect to see some of these first new rules?
Well, I think that we're trying to get. I think they're right now. We're looking to maybe get something up on 14,300 in October, and I think February is when we're supposed to be looking at something final.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Subject to check.
Yeah, I understand. I've been around here long enough to understand that these are ballpark numbers usually.
Right.
Great. So the Nebraska Public Power District is currently in phase 2 of a feasibility study for building a new small modular reactor. Looking toward the future and licensing process for this state-of-the-art technology, I would like to learn more about how the NRC is implementing the ADVANCE Act to improve efficiencies in the licensing process. On August 18th, the acting executive director for operations issued a memo in accordance with Section 505 of the ADVANCE Act. The memo identifies a series of actions the agency has taken to accelerate the efficiency, predictability, and timeliness of licensing reviews. Which of those actions do you think is the most promising to improve the NRC's licensing efficiency, especially for new and developing technologies? And what are some of the next actions that the staff and commission are considering to continue its implementation of Section 505 in the ADVANCE Act?
Well, I don't think there's any one that is better than the other. I think the whole of these actions taken together is what it's going to take and it's going to make the biggest impact. And again, this, as the report stated, the NRC staff we anticipate that the agency will realize further efficiencies when the rulemaking efforts for EO 14,300 are completed. So that's part of that whole process.
Yeah. And just on an operational side, one of the things when I was governor I implemented at the state of Nebraska was Lean Six Sigma, process improvement methodology. And we were able to save literally hundreds of thousands of hours of our teammates' time as we rolled that out to everybody in the organization. And you're nodding your head like you're familiar with this. So I'd highly encourage you to take that because, for example, one of the things we were able to do is with our air construction permits, it was taking us about 190 days to get those issued. Mm-hmm. And again, we can't change any of the environmental regulations at the state level, but by simplifying the process, we took it down from about 110 steps to about 22 steps. We were able to get those permits issued in 65 days versus 190 days. Right. So that's just an example of how leveraging process improvement methodologies can help streamline the duplicative processes, take out the steps that don't add any value and that sort of thing. And I would certainly encourage you to take a look at that as part of the overall efficiency and effectiveness of the organization.
Thank you so much. We were already becoming more efficient before I met you and learned about Lean Six Sigma and how you implemented that in Nebraska. But I will tell you, we're leaning in on every front. We're leaning in on the material side, as you've heard Senator Lummis on DISA and Senator Kelly. We're leaning in on the advanced reactor side. That is to me right now, that's the shining star in the agency because of just how many people are coming and what we're doing to prepare and get ready. And we've been ahead of schedule on everything right now. And we're staying that way. They're committed to it. So thank you, and I'll take you up on it.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The Senate is blessed to have the experience of former governors, and as you can see, that experience is on display with Senator Ricketts' questions. Thanks so much.